The mid-sized truck segment has long been defined by a singular, unshakable truth: the Toyota Tacoma is not just a vehicle, it is an institution. For decades, it has held a near monopoly on buyer loyalty, driven by a reputation for indestructibility that borders on mythological. But the automotive landscape is shifting beneath its wheels. The era of simple, naturally aspirated V6 engines and basic utilitarian cabins is over, replaced by a complex war of turbocharged efficiency, hybrid torque, and lifestyle-specific specialization. The upcoming 2027 Toyota Tacoma represents a critical juncture in this evolution. It is no longer enough for Toyota to simply be reliable. They must now prove that their new technological direction offers tangible, real-world advantages over a rapidly improving field of domestic and international rivals. This is not just a refresh. It is a strategic recalibration of what it means to own a modern mid-sized truck in an age where capability must coexist with connectivity and efficiency. Welcome to Auto Insights, where we go beyond the surface to break down cars, strategies, and what they really mean for buyers. If you want deeper understanding without the noise, make sure you're subscribed. Before we dissect the engineering and market implications, we must establish a clear, honest baseline regarding the vehicle's development status. The 2027 Toyota Tacoma is officially confirmed as a mid-cycle refresh of the fourth-generation model, which launched for the 2024 model year. This aligns perfectly with Toyota's standard product cadence, meaning the core architecture, powertrain options, and fundamental silhouette are locked in. However, because this is a mid-cycle update, much of the specific tuning, final trim pricing, and exact feature distribution is still being finalized based on recent prototype sightings and industry expectations. I want to be completely direct and honest with you. If you have been reading internet forums claiming that Toyota is bringing back the old 3.5-liter V6, you are looking at wishful thinking, not engineering reality. Global emissions standards and corporate average fuel economy targets make a return to large displacement naturally aspirated engines statistically impossible. The 2027 model is about refining the current turbo-hybrid strategy, not reverting to legacy powertrains. Acknowledging this distinction is crucial, as it allows us to analyze the strategic intent behind these updates and understand what Toyota must do to succeed, without falling into the trap of treating nostalgic rumors as factual possibilities. Let us move into the design direction, because the exterior updates for the 2027 Tacoma are not just about keeping the truck looking fresh. They are a direct response to market trends and a necessary correction to the vehicle's visual identity. When the current generation Tacoma launched, it featured a bold, somewhat polarizing front fascia that attempted to mimic the aggressive, oversized styling of its full-size Tundra sibling. For 2027, Toyota is expected to refine this approach, adopting a cleaner, more horizontal design language that sharpens the truck's identity without losing its rugged character. Expect a reshaped grille that integrates more seamlessly with slim, high-intensity LED matrix headlights, creating a more focused and technical face. The hood will likely feature more pronounced, functional sculpting to manage thermal loads from the turbocharged engines, while the rear will receive updated vertical LED taillight signatures and a squared, off tailgate that enhances the truck's perceived width and planted stance. This design evolution matters because it signals to the market that Toyota is moving away from overly busy styling and toward a mature, premium aesthetic that competes directly with the refined looks of the Ford Ranger and the aggressive posture of the Chevy Colorado. A truck's visual presence is its first impression, and in a crowded segment, a sharper, more cohesive design is currency that directly impacts resale value and buyer confidence. Furthermore, the retention of diverse cab and bed configurations remains a key differentiator. Unlike many competitors who have streamlined their offerings, the 2027 Tacoma is expected to continue offering the extra cab with a 6-foot bed and the double cab with either a 5-foot or 6-foot box. This flexibility is invaluable for buyers who need specific hauling dimensions or prefer a shorter wheelbase for urban maneuverability, a feature that is increasingly rare in the modern midsize segment. The most critical conversation surrounding the 2027 Tacoma revolves around its powertrain strategy, an area where Toyota has already made a definitive, albeit controversial, shift away from legacy engines. The days of the naturally aspirated V6 are permanently behind us. Instead, the 2027 Tacoma will double down on the 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder architecture. The base configuration is expected to deliver around 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque, providing a highly capable foundation for daily driving and moderate towing. However, the true star of the lineup remains the i4 C-Max hybrid system, which pairs the turbocharged fork cylinder with an electric motor integrated directly into the transmission to produce a segment, leading 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. The strategic brilliance of this hybrid setup is not just in its peak numbers, but in its torque delivery. The electric motor fills the low-end torque gap, providing instant, lag-free acceleration from a standstill, which is invaluable when merging onto highways with a loaded bed or navigating technical, low-speed off-road trails. For 2027, Toyota is reportedly improving the thermal management and battery cooling systems of the hybrid setup, directly addressing early concerns about performance degradation on long, steep grades. Furthermore, the smoothness of the transition between electric and gas power is being refined, eliminating the slight hesitation that some early adopters noticed at low speeds. Does the instant torque and improved efficiency of a hybrid system outweigh the nostalgic appeal of a V6 for your daily driving needs? For the vast majority of modern truck buyers, the answer is a resounding yes, as it offers the pulling power of a larger engine with significantly improved fuel efficiency and smoother power delivery. Additionally, the retention of a 6-speed manual transmission on certain trims is a massive, emotional win for enthusiasts. In a world where manuals are becoming extinct, this option provides a tangible connection to the driving experience that automatics simply cannot replicate, especially for those who value precise gear selection during technical off-roading. Understanding the physical specifications of the 2027 Tacoma is essential to grasping how it fits into your life, your garage, and your weekend adventures. Built on the highly rigid, high-strength steel TNGAF platform, the Tacoma will maintain its core dimensional footprint, offering the familiar double cab and extra cab configurations. The double cab, with its 4 full-size doors and shorter bed options, remains the overwhelming favorite for families and lifestyle buyers, prioritizing interior volume, rear seat comfort, and a shorter overall length for urban maneuverability. The extra cab, featuring smaller rear, hinged doors and a longer bed, caters specifically to commercial users and traditionalists who prioritize cargo space and payload capacity over rear passenger luxury, while a traditional 2-door regular cab is highly unlikely to return due to plummeting market demand. The existing configurations offer a versatile balance. Expect a payload capacity hovering around 700 pounds and a maximum towing capacity of approximately 500 pounds when properly equipped with the tow package. These numbers are more than sufficient for hauling ATVs, small boats, or construction materials, positioning the Tacoma perfectly in the sweet spot of the midsize segment where buyers need genuine utility without the cumbersome footprint, poor fuel economy, and high operating costs of a full-size half-ton truck. Most importantly, the retention of the multi-link coil spring rear suspension remains a massive, understated advantage. Unlike the traditional leaf springs found on most American competitors, which prioritize maximum load capacity at the expense of ride quality, coil springs reduce unsprung weight. This results in a dramatically smoother, more composed ride whether the bed is empty or loaded, and allows for greater wheel articulation off-road, keeping the tires planted on uneven surfaces for maximum traction. Stepping inside the 2027 Tacoma reveals an interior strategy that heavily prioritizes tactile usability and long-term durability over flashy, gimmicky technology. Toyota has recognized that truck buyers, even those purchasing premium lifestyle trims, spend significant time in environments where gloves are worn, screens get covered in dust, and physical feedback is necessary. The centerpiece will be a large, responsive infotainment touchscreen, likely a 14-inch display in upper trims, mounted high and angled toward the driver to minimize glare and reduce the need to take your eyes off the road. Crucially, Toyota is expected to retain physical buttons and dials for critical climate and drive mode functions. When you are navigating a muddy trail or driving through a blizzard, you cannot afford to dig through 3 layers of a touchscreen menu just to adjust the fan speed or engage 4-wheel drive. The cabin will feature upgraded materials, with soft touch surfaces replacing hard plastics in high-touch areas, significantly reducing road noise and improving long-haul comfort. Higher trims may introduce unique interior themes, such as the olive green leather and metallic accents seen in recent concepts, or even a luxury-focused variant akin to the Tundra's capstone, featuring genuine wood veneers and massaging seats. Furthermore, the updated Toyota Safety Sense suite will feature a completely recalibrated adaptive cruise control system with smoother lane centering and an enhanced 360-degree camera system with underbody visualization, providing massive safety and confidence improvements for both urban commuting and serious off-roading. The integration of a built-in dash cam or drive recorder is also a massive, practical win, allowing drivers to record incidents or trails without ugly suction cup devices ruining the windshield view. When we analyze the expected pricing and launch timeline for the 2027 Tacoma, a clear picture of Toyota's market positioning emerges. The refresh is expected to be officially unveiled in late 2026, with vehicles hitting dealer lots in the first half of 2027. Pricing will inevitably see a modest increase across the board to account for the fresh design, new technology, and added capability. The base SAR trim will likely start around $33,000 to $35,000, defending Toyota's stronghold in the entry, level, and fleet markets. However, as you climb the ladder to the well-equipped TRD off-road, the hybrid-powered TRD Pro, and the rumored luxury variants, prices will push firmly into the $50,000 to $65,000 range. This pricing structure highlights a critical reality. The Tacoma is no longer just a budget-friendly alternative to full-size trucks. It is a premium lifestyle vehicle in its own right. The question you have to ask yourself is whether this pricing structure makes sense for your specific needs, or if you are being tempted into paying for a top-tier trim whose extreme off-road or luxury capabilities you will rarely utilize on paved suburban streets. By offering a wide spectrum of trims, Toyota is casting a wide net, but it requires the buyer to be highly disciplined about their actual requirements to avoid overpaying for unnecessary features. To truly understand the value of the 2027 Tacoma, we have to look at the competitive landscape, which is more fractured and aggressive than ever before. The Ford Ranger remains a formidable competitor, offering a potent turbocharged four-cylinder engine and a highly refined, car-like driving dynamic. But it has historically struggled with long-term reliability perceptions and a less rugged aesthetic compared to the Tacoma. The Chevrolet Colorado has made a massive comeback with its aggressive styling, powerful turbo engine, and excellent Multimatic DSV dampers on the ZR2 trim, making it a top choice for serious off-road enthusiasts, though it sacrifices some daily ride comfort for that extreme capability. Meanwhile, the Nissan Frontier offers a traditional, naturally aspirated V6 that appeals to old-school buyers, but its aging platform, outdated interior technology, and lack of a hybrid option leave it at a significant disadvantage in efficiency and modern convenience. In this environment, the 2027 Tacoma's greatest strength is its holistic balance. It may not have the raw, traditional engine appeal of the Frontier or the extreme, niche focus of the Colorado ZR2, but it offers a unique combination of legendary long-term reliability, class-leading hybrid torque, and a refined ride quality that actually makes sense for daily driving. It is the truck for the buyer who wants a vehicle that will easily surpass 200,000 miles with basic maintenance while still looking and feeling premium. Despite the impressive potential, the 2027 Tacoma faces some very real strategic risks and market pressures that could impact its success. The most significant challenge is the potential for internal cannibalization and brand dilution. By pushing the Tacoma into higher price brackets with luxury-focused trims, Toyota risks alienating its core demographic of budget-conscious, utilitarian buyers who originally made the Tacoma a legend. Furthermore, the heavy reliance on complex turbo-hybrid technology exposes Toyota to supply chain vulnerabilities regarding battery materials and electronic components, which could lead to long wait times and restricted availability for the most desirable configurations, repeating the allocation frustrations seen with recent TRD Pro releases. There is also the persistent issue of pricing pressure. If the Tacoma becomes too expensive, buyers may simply opt to stretch their budget for a base model full-size truck or downsize to a more affordable compact option like the Ford Maverick. Toyota must carefully manage this balance, ensuring the Tacoma remains grounded in its core identity of durability and value, even as it pushes into the premium lifestyle space. If the dealership experience does not match the premium nature of the upper trims, or if service centers are overwhelmed by the complexity of hybrid diagnostics, the ownership experience could sour quickly, damaging the legendary reputation Toyota has spent decades building. Ultimately, the 2027 Toyota Tacoma represents a masterclass in strategic market evolution, taking a legendary nameplate and adapting it to meet the diverse, often contradictory demands of the modern automotive landscape. It is a vehicle that respects its utilitarian roots, while confidently embracing the future of electrified powertrains and specialized lifestyle design for the buyer who needs a dependable daily commuter with occasional hauling needs. The base and mid-level trims will offer unmatched value and efficiency. For the family seeking a comfortable, safe, and versatile vehicle, the upper trims will provide a refined, tech-rich environment, and for the weekend adventurer, the TRD variants will deliver factory-built solutions that make outdoor exploration accessible and reliable. It is not a perfect truck for every single person, but it is a highly intelligent, deeply considered machine that offers a distinct and valuable alternative to the current market leaders. If you value long-term reliability, innovative hybrid efficiency, and genuine practical utility over flashy gimmicks, the 2027 Toyota Tacoma is absolutely worth your serious consideration and the wait. What do you think about Toyota's strategy of pushing the Tacoma into more premium and hybrid-focused territory? And do you believe the 2027 updates are enough to keep it ahead of the Ford Ranger and Chevy Colorado? Subscribe to Auto Insights if you want deeper breakdowns, real analysis, and a clearer understanding of where the automotive market is heading. Thanks for watching Auto Insights. See you in the next one.